Let us learn how to solve two-step inequalities with decimals. We're going to review the steps in solving these types of two-step inequalities, and then we're going to apply those steps in solving some examples. To solve two-step inequalities, we're going to first isolate the variables as we do with equations. And if the variable is on the right side of the inequality, we're going to switch to the left side and reverse the inequality, and we're going to represent the inequality on the number line if necessary. In this case, we probably don't have to, but if you're asked to do so, you can represent them on the number line. And one of the best practices is to always write in the form a greater than c, where a is your variable and c is your constant. And when we go to switching the inequalities, so if you have greater than, you're always going to switch it to less than and vice versa. If you have greater than equal to, you're going to switch it to less than equal to and vice versa. Now let's look at some examples here. 0.3x is greater than 7 minus 0.4x. So the first thing we're going to do is to isolate the inequality, and then we solve the inequality. So I'm going to isolate x by trying to move x to the left hand side. So I'm going to add 0.4x to both sides. So now we have 0.3 plus 0.4. We have 0.7. So 0.7x is greater than 7. Now we divide both sides by 0.7. So now we have 0.7. I'm going to move the decimal right here. So now that gives me the right to have a 70. So 7 divided by 7, you have 1. 1 times 7, we have 7. Subtract 0, bring down 0. So now we have x is greater than 10. If you want to draw this on the number line, you have 10 right here. If you have 10 right here, it's going to be an open circle. X is greater than 10. The next question, we have 1.3x greater than equal to 4 minus 0.5x. Now what we can do here is we're going to first isolate the x. So I'm going to add 0.5x to both sides. So 1.3, 0.5, adding this, 3 plus 5 is 8. So this is 1.8. So 1.8x is greater than equal to 4. Now we're going to divide both sides by 1.8. So 4, 1.8. So I'm going to move the decimal out after the 8. So now we have 40 divided by 18. So we divide this, we have 2 times 18, that's 36. We're going to subtract, that's 4. And this is less than 18. So we put a 0 here and put a decimal right here. 40 divided by 18, we have 2. 2 times 18, we have 36. Subtract again, we have 4. Put a 0, we have a 2. And this is going to be 36. Subtract again, we have a 4. So this is a repeating decimal. So we can say x is greater than equal to 2.2, and then repeating. And then we draw the number line. We have 2.2 here. So it's going to be a closed circle. X is greater than 2.2, repeating. Now we have 9.1 plus 0.6 is less than equal to 1.3x. So what we're going to do here is we're going to first isolate the x. So I'm going to subtract 0.6x from both sides. So 1.3 minus 0.6, this is 7, cross this out, so this is 0. So 9.1 is less than or equal to 0.7x. Now we divide both sides by 0.7x, divide both sides by it's 0.7. Divide both sides by 0.7, and so we have 9.1, 0.7. So we can move the decimal here and then move the decimal there. So what you now have is 91 divided by 7. 9 divided by 7, you have 1. 1 times 7, 7. Subtract, you have 2. Bring this down, you have 1. 21 divided by 7, 3. 3 times 7, 21. So you have 13 is less than or equal to x, which means that x is greater than or equal to 13. So we have our number line here, 13, and then x is greater than or equal to 13. Now, final example here, 2.4 minus 0.12x is less than 0.28x. So we're going to isolate the x and solve. So this is plus 0.12x plus 0.12x. So 0.28, 0.12, we add this together. 8 plus 2 is 10, 0, carry 1 up here. 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4, and then 0 plus 0 is 0. So 2.4 is less than 0.40x. So now we have 2.4, 0.40. So we move the decimal 1, 2 spots. So 1, 2. So we have 240 divided by 40. So there's zeros at the end of both numbers, so I can cross this out, and you just have 24 divided by 4, which is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. So you subtract. So now you have, this is where divided by 0.40 on both sides. So we have 6 is less than x, which means we're going to move the x to the left hand side, so x is greater than 6. So now we have 6 right here, open circle, x is greater than 6.